Welcome, Leaguers, to another edition of Teamfight Tactics, your gaming masterclass. Today, Mech Brawler Crush. And welcome, Leaguers, to another edition of your Teamfight Tactics masterclass. Today we're going with the Brawler Mech build. With this build, we're looking right off the hop to get pulled off a Mel fight. So that's kind of helpful right away for that Brawler bit. Throw the Mel fight in there. Just a quick word on that Mech. For those of you just new to this latest incarnation of the Teamfight Tactics, the Mech takes Fizz, Annie, and Rumble. And you put those together and they build this super robot, which is pretty deadly. It does leave your other characters exposed, I find, a bit, but you have that mech up front that can actually sustain a fair bit of damage. And the other really cool thing is any weapons on those three characters I mentioned all travel to the mech as well. So you're going to have a mech that can have some serious defense and Warmog's armor, for example, or you can have some serious attack, Infinity Edge or something like that. Do some good damage. Okay, so back to my game here. So got Twisted Fate out there. Got Blitz. Got the Chrono Brawler buff going already. Chrono is, if you've experimented or dabbled a little bit, Chrono is basically right now way OP. So get Chrono out there as early and as often as you can. This particular game, though, I was all in for the, I really wanted to try the Brawler. I started off with that Mel fight. I thought, oh, let's roll with it. So, already got an early Annie as well to work towards that auto, the mech build. So, Annie's also a sorcerer, so just threw her in to pair with Twisted, and get the sorcerer buff going as well. So in the turntable here, oh geez, you can see the size of that icon, man. It is absolutely massive. So just looking around, pull off the Ashe over there. So Ashe, when you pair her with Caitlyn, actually that's the sniper buff. That's not bad either, but just some money right now for Ashe. $3. You can see I got the Guardian Angel on my Malphite there. Give me extra little healage. So Malphite's full tank, and then my back row, my Blitz is hopefully going to yoink one of their little Chronos in the back 40, and there's the cell of Ashe I knew was coming. Yoink one of those guys up, a little squishier, so when Blitz gets his little grubby paws on her, it's just demo time. The rocks. The rocks used to be so tough in the first version of this game, I found, but since, you have to be half asleep to lose to these guys. Putting no characters out or something. Iron Solari. So I'd heard rumors actually originally that Iron Solari was nerfed in the beta version, and so I had stayed away from it for a long time. So normally Iron Solari is a no-brainer for me, but in the last few patches, they've actually updated it, and now, actually, I think Iron Solari is kind of OP. It, if you recall, it basically gives you a circle of heal when your character dies with it, but now, doesn't matter, no circle. Basically, every character on the board, when your guy dies with it on, gets the heal. Oh, so that's Redemption. So I'm talking Redemption here. Sorry, Iron Solari is working fine. But that is good advice for the Iron Solari, actually, or the Redemption song. It's not a bad one to get either, the Redemption tool. It was actually at first totally nerfed, and then they've actually, I think they've made it a bit too OP now. So you can see I got Brawler 3 out there, Chrono 2, Sorcerer 2, just working away here, chiseling. Keep my eye open for that last Brawler, that 4th Brawler buff, and that's going to be Cho'Gath whenever he shows up, throw him on the board. And start turning the fates here. Still at 100 though, so obviously no need to turn anything at this point. 8-game win streak, not bad. So also, if you notice, I got out of my mouth with the crowd control up there. So that's going to help with the big clusters of guys around, gives them extra little bit of buff there. And the redemption also helps. Not that time though, there goes the 8-game winner. Throw the extra bit of speed burst on my my Twisted Fate. Doing an easy win here. No problem. So there's the... Oh, there, I got my Cho'Gath out there now. There's the 4 Brawler in action. So Brawl in the back. Got my Annie. It's already started towards the mech build. Oh, and there goes Fizz out there. So now we're just one rumble away from pulling off the mech. So that, I love that Cho'Gath's super there, that little blast up. Just slows them down enough to really hammer them with your back line. Oh, level 3 Twisted, so there's golden Twisted now. So normally in the regular course of game, if I just had a level 2 Twisted, he's out mid-game. Unless I'm going pure chrono buff, but even then, I think there's an extra Chronos, so you don't even need it. He'd be one of my first ones to use. I find him very weak, but level 3 Chronos, level 3 Twisted Fate is perfect. There's Rumble, so now I got my Rumble ready to rock and roll. Soon as at only 6 out of 50 though, so I've got to wait a bit. 45 gold. That'll be bumped up over 50 now. Turntable. Oh, there's my Cho. Ah, someone took him. Alright, fine. Settle. And that's quick sell. Oh, rapid fire. So throw that on. I just wanted to basically get that on a character because, like I was saying, I have no weapons right now for my mech when he comes in. So just something to give the mech. Rapid fire is not ideal, but it's something. At least not ideal for the mech. Oh, nothing there to talk about. 49 gold. Need the win here to bump me up to 50. Going down to 49 gold is always a trick. It's I don't mind doing it, especially if it's going to be quite helpful to the board, but you're kind of banking that you're going to win that next game to bump you up to the 50 gold again and continue your money streak pouring in. Halfway to 50, halfway to getting my mech on there, so that's good. I find this game, early game anyway, is really unforgiving with money. You have to be so careful. I've already come into one game where now if you notice there, I'm just kind of playing with my characters, putting out just in case someone's got a Zephyr, because the last thing you want is your mech to get Zephyred. That is a great counter, actually, to the mech. If you can position correctly where the Zephyr's gonna knock the mech up, then basically your front line and backs can destroy all the other softer guys in the underbelly of the mech. But so one technique I do is I shift my mech around a little bit so they don't really know where it's gonna come up, and that way it keeps the Zephyr off balance, and it's more of a crapshoot because they can kind of direct where they want that Zephyr to hit. So you gotta be cognizant, aware of that stuff there. Alright, so basically the build is on the board there. 4 Brawler, 3 Mech. Chrono and Sorcerer is supporting. So actually it's kind of neat that Twisted Fate gets 2 buffs going on there. Another easy win. Out he goes. Down to final 3 here. This was one game where, and I'm sure you've had them before, you're just rolling along and you're like, I have this game. This game is in hand. There's not a question of a doubt. It was just one of those games where you just felt the mojo flying there, so it was good. Another easy win, no problem. Okay. So right now I've got my Malphite in the very front line because I don't mind him going right beside the mech or the mech just behind him because he's my obvious tank, and with the Guardian Angel and crowd control on him, I kind of want... Oh, Thieves Gloves. Oh, you gotta love Thieves Gloves. Throw it on the... It's gotta... Oh, there he goes. Oh, that was... sorry. Jeweled. Okay. Well, he's trying to make some work, but... Oh, that echo ability is kind of sweet too. Actually, it does a really good job. Oh, that he is really hanging on there. Wow. Okay, a little more tinkering. That was the first. Okay, level 3 rumble. That just sort of seals the deal there. If I can get me a couple more echoes too, that's pretty helpful. But we'll see. Yeah, because even when they busted open, man, they still got to contend with a level 3 rumble, which is fearsome. I find you really need to get in the game a 5-banger, and preferably get them up to 2-star there if you can. It's tricky, but that's one of the things. If you want to win, it's a staple I try to keep to. 3 of us left. That echo's looking juicy. Yeah, there it is. All right. So down to one more echo I need here. This would be pretty close on Malphite and Blitz. So we'll see what happens. Nothing. Zeros. All right, 3 guys left. Got the Brawler, got the Mech. Still nothing. All right, that's fine. So we're getting down to brass tacks here. So that mech, you can see my mech's got Warmogs. It's got, oh, it just got blasted up. It had it's the sort of siphon there. And there was one other thing. Oh, rapid fire cannon. Yeah, better for the back row, but that's alright. Gives them 3 different items. Now, another great tool, and if I'd had a little more foresight, that would have worked really well, was that Guardian Angel that's on Malphite. If I had thrown that on one of the 3 that are in the mech, that would have been really juicy, because that gives it an extra little buff time as being the mech before they separate. So just gives your mech a little more time to slay the enemy. So we're coming down to it. This could very well be the end of the line for our number 2 place guy here. So we'll see what happens. Oh, like Kaiza. Oh, and I hear the music. And when you hear the music, you gotta know what's coming. Doom for the enemy. And Victor for Cax. 3 guys on 1. Blast them a little. C'est la vie. Leaguers, stay cool. Like, subscribe. Thanks for the watch. Peace out.